Good afternoon. Please be seated. My name is Kelly Szymanski, and I am a proud Thomas grad, as well as the chair of the Board of Trustees. I welcome you to President Jeannine Diddle Uzzi's inauguration. Inauguration. We're here for an inauguration. As Thomas College's 6th president. I'd like to start the inauguration off by welcoming Rabbi Rachel Isaacs to the podium for the invocation.
Welcome, one and all, to the inauguration of Thomas College's 6th president. Mazel tov, Jeannine. We are gathered here today to celebrate an incredible woman who has taken on the mantle of leadership, and also to celebrate a singular institution, Thomas College in Waterville, Maine. That deserves, come on, Waterville. In talking to President Uzzi, I learned something fundamental. Her mission as an educator comes through in every element of her leadership. In order for Thomas students to learn, may it be the jewels of classical civilization or new methods for cybersecurity, they need to know that they are seen as individuals full of potential. They need to be certain that they will be supported in their journey to becoming the informed and prepared citizens our city, state, nation, and world need. In order to achieve that mission, all of us here need to marshal all of the resources necessary, in every sense of the word, to educate each and every student in a way that is appropriate for them. Thomas distinguishes itself in its commitment to the great state of Maine and serving first-generation and financially independent students. Thomas doesn't just talk the talk, it walks the walk, and plays an invaluable role in making sure that Waterville and Maine achieve their full potential. President Uzzi takes great pride in what makes Thomas special, and she has and continues to dedicate her passions, expertise, and labors to ensuring that this institution continues to achieve its unique promise. Today, let us celebrate being a terrier. Small, tenacious, independent, mighty, and maybe even a little bit cute. President Uzzi, Mazel Tov, congratulations. May this continue to be an incredible day, and may we continue to rejoice in it. And now it is my distinct honor to introduce Jared Cash, CEO of the Mitchell Institute.
Good afternoon. Well, first of all, my dog, Bo, Scottish Terrier, is very proud. Home in Norway, and I love the stuffed Scottish Terriers out in the bookstore. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, Thomas board members, esteemed faculty and staff, and most importantly, the students and alumni of Thomas College. This is a celebratory ritual which comes only on occasion throughout your history. And I'm honored to be here to express my admiration of Thomas College and the legacy of leadership that will continue forward by my dear friend, Dr. Jeannine Diddle Uzzi. Jeannine, I offer you my heartfelt congratulations. You are one of the most creative and energizing leaders I've had the privilege to know and work alongside. And to Thomas College, an institution that has stood proudly at the heart of higher education in Maine, serving her people for 130 years. For a long part of our history, our American dream has been built on the promise that anyone from any town and street can achieve their aspirations if one puts forth enough work and determination. Many of us here today have realized this dream, but as we all know, far too many from our communities still struggle to reach theirs. At the Mitchell Institute, we believe education is the great equalizer. And while no one should be guaranteed success, everyone should have a fair chance to succeed. Over the last 30 years, we've had the privilege of serving 4,000 Mitchell scholars from every public high school in Maine. In that time, more than 80 scholars have enrolled at Thomas College, pursuing their journeys towards knowledge and their own prosperity. Your partnership has made their success and ours possible. So thank you for this, and let's keep this powerful work going strong for another 30 years. As Senator Mitchell has shared just recently, talent and brilliance knows no geographic boundaries. Together, we support the full potential that is possessed by young people from all backgrounds. Now, let me take a moment to talk to you about President Uzzi. She is a brilliant scholar, a bold leader, an unwavering advocate for students and educators. And as the 6th president of Thomas College, she brings not only experience, but a rare depth of heart, intellect, and vision. Her journey began in the classics, which she loves to talk about as a former colleague, and through every chapter, as a professor, department chair, provost, she's remained steadfast to her belief that education can and will transform lives. I had the privilege of working alongside Jeannine at the University of Southern Maine, where we partnered to grow enrollment and strengthen student belonging. The two traits that I admire most about her are her moral compass and her innovative energy. I'll really underscore those two things because I don't think I've ever put them together, but I've witnessed firsthand in her a leader who stood firm for just decisions, one who bravely challenged treasured norms to build a better community. Jeannine is not only an intellect, I'd add she's a fun and spirited intellect. Her academic accomplishments are impressive. She's authored two books with the Cambridge University Press and countless other works exploring everything from Roman culture to poetry. But she's been a strong voice for the humanities, showing how ancient wisdom can illuminate modern life. Her scholarly work reminds us that the narratives we create and the inclusivity we foster are foundational to building strong, cohesive academic communities. But more than the knowledge she holds, Jeannine, more importantly, is someone who makes people feel seen, feel heard, and feel supported. Whether guiding faculty through change or championing first-generation students, she brings wisdom and deep personal commitment to equity and inclusive excellence. She leads with both bold energy and bold imagination. I am truly honored to call her my friend. And I have to just share, when we were working together through the pandemic with 7,500 students, Jeannine is the type of person that 7 and 8 o'clock at night will remind you that we need to stop and take a yoga stretch, and then tell you we're going to be another 2 hours to grind out new policy. She's a hard worker. The role of today's college president is one of great responsibility. It's about stewardship of a mission, of people, and of future promise. Dr. Uzzi brings not only an impressive track record, but also the clarity and conviction needed to lead in times of change. She understands that higher education is not just about granting degrees, it's about unlocking potential, challenging conventions, and empowering communities. To understand the years ahead, we must remind ourselves that throughout U.S. history, institutions of higher education have been most impactful when they are grounded in mission and nimble in practice. The world has never stood still, and the colleges and universities that thrive are those that recognize changing times are a calling to innovation. Studies have shown time and again that institutions with clearly articulated missions that speak to both purpose and the people are better equipped to respond to shifting demographics, workforce needs, and technological disruptions. But this is more than theory, it's a commitment to practice. Mission-centered institutions are more agile in adapting curriculum, more intentional in building inclusive environments, and more effective in serving the complex needs of today's students. They don't just chase the trends, they anticipate them. At a moment when the future demands an abundance of courage, creativity, and care, I know that Dr. Jeannine Uzzi will be the leader to energize the Thomas community towards its next vital calling. A place where traditions meet transformation, where your timeless values meet the urgent needs of the world around us. And when you align your mission with the momentum of the future, you will not only be adapting, you will be leading. To the students of Thomas College, especially those who are first in their families to walk this path. As someone who is also a first-generation college student, I see you. To all of you who have made personal sacrifices to pursue your journey here, we honor your courage, your grit, your dreams. You are the reason the Mitchell Institute is so proud to partner with Thomas College. You belong in every classroom, every conversation, every opportunity this college offers. And let me be clear, your story does not end with a degree. It just begins. The world needs your voices, your ideas, your empathy, your leadership. And here at Thomas College, you have a community that believes in you. Faculty, staff, and a president who will walk beside you as you grow into the person you are meant to be. So keep going, keep showing up, and keep betting on yourself. Because when you rise, your families rise, your communities rise, and collectively we rise as a state and as a nation. As President Uzzi takes the helm, I hope you will lean into this moment of momentum with open minds, bold hearts, and a deep belief that from every corner of Maine, greatness can rise. It's been my privilege to be here to celebrate this frontier with you, and I'll be rooting you on as friend and colleague. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you all hear me? Excellent. My name is MJ, and I am the very proud daughter of Dr. Jeannine Diddle Uzzi. I'm honored this afternoon to share with you a few words about my mom. But first, I want to thank you all for being so welcoming to our family. I was lucky enough to visit Thomas during your homecoming festivities last fall, and we all were welcomed with such open arms. Despite it being my first time on campus, I felt like I belonged here, and that is a truly palpable, magical, one-of-a-kind feeling that you all have fostered. I know I speak for my brother as well as all of our family and friends when I say that we are so grateful that our mom has found a community like this one. As her daughter, I am in the unique position of being able to speak about my mom from the perspective of someone who, as a child, was somewhat resistant to her leadership. My younger self, from toddlerhood through at least elementary school, but admittedly potentially later, felt it was cosmically unfair that one of us had to be the mom and the other one had to be the kid. What a terrible deal it was for me. I have been told I share many personality traits with my mother, for which I am extremely grateful. I am grateful that I have her extroversion, her work ethic, and her resilience in the face of challenges. But the fact that she also gave me her very strong will made it incredibly frustrating to be consistently on the losing end of our power struggles. In my later teen years and first years of adulthood, though, I now look back and realize what an incredible privilege it was to grow up with her as my mom and as a leader of our family. She taught Freddie and I to work really hard and was proud of us when we did, no matter what the outcome was. I remember coming home with a low grade in middle school, absolutely devastated, and she asked me if I had done my best and worked as hard as I could, and she said that if I had, that it didn't matter what the grade was, she didn't care about it, and neither should I. She encouraged Freddie and I to stretch ourselves, to do things that scared us, and then was steadfast in her support when we found our places. Despite my lack of perceivable athletic ability, she encouraged me as I tried a whole laundry list of sports, gymnastics, tennis, lacrosse, etc. And when Freddie and I did find our place in this children's circus, she dove in head first. She volunteered to sell raffle tickets, fundraise, organize major trips and performances, and even spent years as the chairperson of the Parents Board and Boosters Organization. Although I give her grief for being occasionally forgetful, she never forgets the important stuff. The "you got this" text before finals week, your favorite meal on your birthday, and keeping the house stocked with my favorite flavor of Starbursts and fruit snacks. To this day, she is often juggling many responsibilities across her career, parenting, and personal life, and I appreciate that I can rely on her ability to prioritize and multitask thoughtfully. On her watch, the important things don't get missed. I know that's a high bar. Let's hope it works. As you may be able to tell from my anecdotes, I would describe my mom's parenting style using two descriptors: high warmth and high expectations. She is an extremely warm parent and person. She is unconditionally loving. She cares deeply about how Freddie and I feel about our lives, who our friends are, what our days look like, what our goals are. And in the highs and the lows, she gives great hugs. However, she also had high expectations for our work ethic and our care for others. She expected that we would give 100% effort to our schoolwork, as well as any of our commitments, whether it was sports, clubs, jobs. Throughout high school and college, she pushed us to take hard classes and challenge ourselves. But outside of school, she held us to a very high standard of being kind siblings to one another, role models to our younger cousins and family members, and empathetic friends and classmates. This combination of warmth and expectations is exactly the type of mother she is, and I think it's also the type of leader she is more broadly. I'm sure she will carry this ethic to her presidency. She has extremely high hopes and dreams for Thomas and for herself. She is so excited to be a part of building Thomas's future. But I think, as Jared mentioned, you'll also see her warmth. She cares really deeply about all of you, students, faculty, staff, community, friends of the college. And she already loves it here so much. You should hear her on the phone. Like, she'll be on and on about her new colleagues and new friends. I credit significant portions of who I am and my personality to her, from being bossed around as her young daughter to willingly and constantly seeking out her leadership in adulthood. I am wildly proud of everything that she has accomplished and that she has worked so hard for. And I'm excited to celebrate her and celebrate Thomas's new chapter. Now, in the spirit of this celebration, some of the lovely folks at Thomas asked me if I would like to present my mom with something during the ceremony on behalf of myself and my younger brother, Freddie. Do you want to come up? Of course, we were excited to do it, and we thought carefully for weeks about what to present. So, we chose to present to you and to the Thomas community a dwarf white pine tree sapling. What you can see is right there. I'm not going to pick it up because I am dressed in dry clean only. We chose to present this, and it is our hope that you will plant this tree on campus and watch it grow as you do here. As many of you are no doubt aware, the white pine tree is the state tree of Maine, and it represents both my family's and Thomas's roots here, pun intended. Freddie and I both went to college out of state, and for our graduations before we left, we were each gifted sentimental Maine items. For me, a pair of pine cone earrings, and for Freddie, a blanket with the Maine state flag for his dorm room. We have treasured these items as tokens of our upbringing and connection to our home state, and this is our version of returning the gesture. As many of you may know or maybe don't know, President Uzzi is a lifelong outdoors woman and someone who has made a home in Maine. And so we felt it was appropriate that you start your time at Thomas with a brand new tree. On behalf of myself and Freddie, we are so excited for you, and we can't wait to see how you, this little sapling, and Thomas grow together. We love you. Sorry, I'm back. I would like to now welcome up a couple of students. May I have the program, please? Cole Ellis and Molly Satak, class of 2026 and 2024. Welcome.
So I'm not sure I can top that. I mean, that was goodness gracious. Unfortunately, Uzzi is not my mother, and I don't have a long speech, and I didn't get to a pine tree. But hello, everyone. Welcome. I mean, they've all said welcome plenty of times. But my name's Cole Ellis, and I'm the Student Senate President here on campus. Molly wasn't able to be with us. This is Abby Ferrone. She is our Student Senate representative for the senior class. So I've heard Jared say that she is a hard worker and just late nights and things of that nature. And well, we have late night meetings. Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock we have a meeting. And this year we were fortunate enough that President Uzzi came to 2 of our meetings. And I can tell you, Jared is right. Our meetings went from 7 p.m. and ran until like 9, sometimes 9:30, 9:45. And she was just like that constant fire. How can we make Thomas better? How can Thomas be a better place for students, for staff, for faculty? And I like to call her President Uzzi, but she just wishes everyone would call her Jeannine. So I just want to preface, this is Jeannine. She corrected me a couple times and I couldn't fix it. Anyway, both times that we met, we were reflective, open, and we discussed all the strengths and all the challenges that Thomas College faces in this new age. Well, we figured out that Jeannine is a perfect fit. She's warm and she's rigorous. Now, it showed that she's open to meet with students, to meet with faculty, and figure out how we can make Thomas a better place. Now, this was super beneficial for us as, Student Senate members and as president. We were able to see what her vision was for the college and how it aligned with the students and what their needs were and how she was going to meet them. Now, this is valuable. It's not very often you get somebody who's in a leadership position who really, really, really cares about what you feel and how you want to be. Now, the future of Thomas College is looking really bright. Jeannine is a lighthouse for our community, which is why she's up here today. So, on behalf of the entire student body and the Student Senate, I would like to offer Jeannine the gift of a gavel. Like the work we do on behalf of the students, we chose the gavel because President Uzzi will be leading and making decisions for the greater good of the entire college. Also, I had a gavel and she pointed it out. We are all very excited to see what Jeannine does here at Thomas College, and thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? I might have to put on my teacher's voice. My name is Dr. Alicia McCarthy. I'm a professor of forensic science and criminal justice here at Thomas College, and I'm here representing the Faculty Senate as their chair. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all today, dignitaries, trustees, colleagues, alumni, students, and family and friends, to this very special occasion where we formally welcome Dr. Jeannine Uzzi as the 6th president of Thomas College. I had the privilege of serving on the search committee last year, and that search committee ultimately put Jeannine forward. She came on campus and she wowed us all, and now she's here. From the beginning, her vision for Thomas College stood out. She brought bold, thoughtful ideas for how we can strengthen and expand academic opportunities for both current and our future students. She's already delivering on that. Although it's only been a few months, she has been pivotal in putting forward launching 3 new science degrees for this upcoming fall: biology, pre-professional biology, and health sciences. As a teacher in the STEM end of things, I'm pretty excited about these new opportunities, and so are our incoming cohort of students for the fall of 25. This is a clear sign of her commitment to innovation and academic excellence. On behalf of the faculty, we've got a small gift for you, and we want to say how excited we are to work alongside you. We look forward to collaborating with you in the years to come, and we continue to build on Thomas College's important legacy, a place where teaching and learning thrive.
So on behalf of the Board of Directors, we are honored to have so many of you here today. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge a few of our higher education partners who are in attendance today. And please hold your applause. They all deserve it, but I'll go through the list first, and then you can show your appreciation of them. Lynn Coy Ogan, President of Husson College. David Dagler, President of the Maine Community College System. Karen Normandin, President of Kennebec Valley Community College. Joseph Cassidy, President of St. Joseph's College. Mike Weirs, representing Bates College. Ed Cervone, Director of Strategic Partnerships at UNE. Raymond Crossman, President Emeritus, Adler University. Jennifer Cushman, President, University of Maine, Augusta. Raymond Rice, President, University of Maine at Presque Isle. Jeff Mills, President and CEO, University of Maine Foundation. I'm almost done. Chris Mallett, Chief Administrative Officer of the Rue Institute. Brad O'Hara, Executive Dean of Adler University, Vancouver. Joe Williams, Dean, the University of Southern Maine. Ulysses Sophia, Dean, Claremont, McKenna, Pitzer, and Scripps Colleges. David Green, President of Colby College. And last, but certainly not least, Lori LaChance. When Lori shared with the trustees her plan to retire in 2025, the board immediately began the search for a new president. Many of you here were a part of that extensive search process. We reviewed more than 80 very strong applications for the role, and we spent months, didn't we, interviewing the best candidates. While we built our process around 4 key elements in the search, we ultimately were seeking the person who would honor and sustain what is best about Thomas's culture, while also bringing energy and new ideas to the challenges and the opportunities that lie ahead for a small, private college that wants to grow its impact. There's no question we've made the right choice in selecting Jeannine. With Jeannine's background and experience in higher education, her connections both in and outside of Maine, and her clear ability to quickly grasp the opportunities here at Thomas and to leverage them, we've already experienced early on the many benefits of her unique and inspiring ability to rally our community in bringing these opportunities to fruition for the current and the future students of Thomas College. Others have spoken about Jeannine. If you didn't know Jeannine before today, you probably have a pretty good picture of Jeannine. There's not much more I need to say, and I agree with what I've heard here today. The transition in the leadership of a private college, especially one that has been led by such a distinguished leader as Lori LaChance, in this time and era of higher education, is not to be taken lightly and is not for the faint of heart. This is a very, very important decision. And in making this decision, we have been blessed with an incredible search committee that was made up of trustees, alumni, members of the community and businesses, as well as our faculty and staff and members of the trustees. We've been blessed with the grace of Lori in supporting this transition in a way that demonstrates a very non-traditional and a very Thomas approach. And we've been truly blessed to end our process with Jeannine Uzzi, Thomas College's 6th president, who we believe was built for this role at this college at this time. Jeannine, if you could please join me on behalf of Thomas College and the Board of Trustees. It is my honor to present you your official presidential portrait. Will hang with our other 5 portraits of past presidents at Thomas over 130 years. I'd now like to ask Heather, your wife, to join us. I'm going to hand this to you. Take it here. Okay. So this is the Presidential Medallion. It represents the official start of the President's role as Thomas's chief leader, embodying the traditions, the values, and the mission of our college. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I present you with the Thomas College Medallion, or Heather does, as a symbol of your office and the trust we place in you as the leader of this institution. It's official.
Thank you. Wow. It's my electromagnetic force. Good afternoon, everyone. It seems like after all that, I have a lot of thank yous. This is going to be like at the Grammys when the thank yous go on so long that the Board of Trustees has to pull you off the stage. And I want to start with the Board of Trustees, because when I was applying for this job, and I felt like it was my place, it was where I was meant to be, and that this opportunity was just so serendipitous, I was wondering if I was right about that. And now is not the time to become a college president at a place that you cannot 100% support. And everyone's right. It was a great visit. I had a great time. I loved meeting with the faculty and the students and the staff. But the people who really recruited me into this role and convinced me that Thomas College could not be stopped were the board members. Because their fierce dedication to this institution is like nothing I've ever seen at any other institution. So Board of Trustees, you are great recruiters. We should have you on every search committee, and I could not be more grateful for your support of me in these first few months, so thank you. I'd like to thank the faculty, who are the heart of this college. The faculty are the reason students come here. They're the heart of everything we do. They are tireless and they are dedicated, and I'm just so excited to see where we're all going to take this place together. I'd like to thank the staff members who have shown me and my family nothing but the same kind of welcome and support that they show our students and our students' families. You're amazing. I need to thank all of my distinguished colleagues who are here representing so many of our partner universities. The advancement team, Erin, I see you over there, and Mackenzie, Seth, Marina, both Mackenzies. I need to say thank you to both Mackenzies, and Haley, and we'll do more thank yous at dinner tonight, but Erin Merrill and the advancement team and the committee that planned this whole day, along with Lita Billadou in my office, who makes it possible for me to do my job every day. Thank you. I also want to thank the representatives from all of our congressional offices and senatorial offices, the people who keep this state running, who are here today. Thank you for being here. And finally, to facilities and Sodexo and security, nothing happens at Thomas College without you. So before we go any further, let's start with a round of applause for those people first. But wait, there are more thank yous. I would really like to thank everyone who got up here and spoke and said such generous and kind things about me today. Jared and my daughter, our students, faculty members. I have to thank my wife, who puts up with everything from me, everything my daughter described. I'm afraid my wife also has to put up with. And she is my partner in all things, and I have to say thank you to Mary Bonato and Jenny Riggins for having the genius to introduce us to each other. Yeah, we can give them a round of applause too. Kelly is right. My relationship with the 5th president of Thomas College, Lori LaChance, is something special in higher education. Very rarely, if ever, do two presidents sit side by side, meet donors side by side, go to homecoming side by side, meet the new incoming class side by side. Lori has been onboarding me since August, and she is selfless, and she loves this college more than anything. And I could not be more grateful for Lori LaChance, who has built this place into the college it is today. I would like to ask that we give Lori LaChance a standing ovation. I have gained a dear friend in this process in Lori. And I would also like to take this opportunity to remember George Spann, the 4th president of Thomas College, whom we recently lost, and may he rest in peace. I have to thank 2 presidents who are here today. The 2 presidents who they had the wisdom to hire me as their provost. And that is Dr. Ray Crosman from Adler University and Dr. Glenn Cummings, who was president of the University of Southern Maine for 7 years. Not only did they take a chance on me as their provost, but they taught me countless lessons about the presidency that I put to use every day. So thank you. Yeah. Just 2 more thank yous, and then I'll make my speech, which is entirely in Latin. I have to give a special thanks to my friend, Dr. U.J. Sophia, who was in my tenure class at Whitman College in 1998 when we were both starting out as new faculty members, who made the trip from California to Maine 27 years later to be here today. It warms my heart, so thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And then a final thank you to my son, Freddie. Because against every professor mom bone in my body, I forced him to skip class today to be here. And if you're a student or you're a faculty member and you know how I feel about the credit hour, you know how painful that was for me. So, thank you, Freddie. Suffice it to say, my heart is very full. Arma verum qua cano. No, I'm kidding. As you sit here today, already full of many words, and with my remarks standing between you and your weekend, in addition to a cupcake and a glass of bubbly, you might start wondering why colleges and universities do this thing called inauguration anyway. I've learned that President Spann was known for putting into every speech a word that would stump his audience. This makes me like him so much. The word inauguration is not exactly a stumper, but if you know me, you know one of the great joys of my life has been teaching Latin, and lucky for you, inauguration is essentially a Latin word. So the in part is easy. In Latin, same as English, in means in. The end of the word ation is just a suffix that creates a noun. The interesting part of the word inauguration is the augur. In Latin, an augur is a soothsayer or a prophet, someone who predicts the future. And the noun augur is related to the verb augere, which means to increase or to honor or to promote. So in etymological terms, an inauguration is a ceremony intended to portend the successful future of a person or an entity or an institution. To inaugurate is literally to foresee a successful future. The successful future of Thomas College starts with our students. You probably noticed that our students were the first to march in this afternoon, and this was no accident. Our students marched in first because they are our reason for being. We exist only to support them in preparing for the lives they want to create. Yes, the careers they want, but not only careers. At Thomas, we are extraordinarily proud of our focus on career preparation, our guaranteed job program. We are proud of the pragmatism of our mission because we know that our graduates will have to go support themselves after they leave us. But our mission at Thomas College is, quote, to prepare students for personal and professional success and for leadership and service in their communities. We're not just educating workers, we're educating whole human beings to thrive throughout their whole lives for the good of the whole society. This is the purpose of higher education. There's a lot of skepticism out there today about higher education, whether it's worth the time, the effort, the cost. When asked if they value a college degree, almost everyone says yes. People really do understand the value of a college degree when it comes to tangible outcomes like lifetime earning power, physical safety, health, mental health, even that elusive thing that we call happiness. And this collective understanding that a college degree adds value to a human life is backed up by decades of research. The facts are in, and we all get it. And yet today, almost 1/3 of the population says they do not value higher education. They value the degree, but they do not value what happens in the classroom or the experiences students have on the way to that degree. So in this country, we're witnessing a cognitive gap between the educational experience and the degree at the end of that experience. Most ascribe this gap to the cost of college, but it's not that simple. Even here in Maine, where community college is now tuition-free, college going is still down 20%. People are saying no to higher education even when it is free. I think this is because the cognitive gap between education and the degree is at least in part cultural. It's a perception gap. In some quarters, college is still assumed to be an out-of-touch ivory tower where the college experience bears little resemblance to the real world. And in some cases, perception is reality. It was reality when I was in college, and it was reality even in my early teaching career. As a scholarship kid at Hamilton College, I certainly felt like a fish out of water more than once. And I wanted to be that fish, but it wasn't always easy to be a fish out of water. Dr. Sophia might recall the heated debates we had at Whitman College in the late 90s and early 2000s, before most of you were born, about whether the college should be offering curriculum in fields that were applied. Fields like education. We were teaching education at a private liberal arts college, and that was controversial. It's kind of incredible to think back on that today. The gap between a certain segment of the American populace and higher education may be decreasing, and it may in some ways be outdated, but it's also rooted in lived experience and in historical reality. Thomas College can bridge this gap. Thomas College has been bridging this gap for decades, especially for first-generation college students. And the bridge Thomas College provides is more important today than ever before. Thomas College is not selective. We have never sought to be selective. Thomas College is not chasing rankings. Instead, we are chasing outcomes. We are chasing impact. We want to be distinguished, but we don't want to be distinguished for the reasons you might expect or the reasons you might imagine. We want to be distinguished for helping students design and build the lives they want to live. We want to be distinguished for the quality, the breadth, and the depth of the support we provide to our students. We want to be known for driving social mobility, for always expanding the accessibility of a college education to more learners. And perhaps most of all, we want to be known for making each and every student feel seen, welcome, and included in our community. Only when students feel genuinely valued and included in this learning community can they reach their full potential. And here I have to pause and give credit to my colleagues from Adler University who are here today. Not until I worked at Adler did I fully appreciate the power of community in the mental health and well-being of the individual. Psychologist Alfred Adler was talking about the social determinants of health in the 19th century. And way back then, Alfred Adler understood that only when human beings feel a genuine sense of belonging in their community can they thrive and become their best selves. Adler University taught me these lessons. Thomas College embodies them. When I applied for this job, I knew that Thomas College had a reputation for feeling like a family. I knew that students, staff, and faculty were known for caring about each other. What I did not know was that every single time I went to an athletic event, which is pretty darn often, Chris Parsons, every time I went to an athletic event, the chair of the H. Allen Ryan School of Business would be there too. I did not know that every single time I went to a Diversity Week event, a Mitchell Scholars event, a casino night, you name it, the Dean of Students would be there too. I think she may sleep, but I don't know when. I did not know that as a matter of course, Thomas employees donate their vacation time to their colleagues who fall ill, or that at Thomas, we celebrate Thanksgiving each year by trying to break our own record for how many food baskets we can donate to those in need. I could talk all day giving examples about the uniquely welcoming culture of Thomas College, but until you come to campus, you don't really get it. And lucky me, I get to live right here on campus, where I know Paul Heath or Chris Santiago is going to come by my office when it gets dark, make sure I'm okay, and probably tell me, go home for dinner. Thomas College has the kind of culture you can't manufacture and you can't purchase. And this is why we are here. To go back to the etymological reason for this ceremony, we gathered together today very literally to foresee the successful future of Thomas College. Like most other institutions of higher education, Thomas is facing challenges we could not have imagined a decade ago. We didn't want to imagine them. Thomas is small. We don't have a huge bank account. We have to adapt to an external environment we do not control and one that might not favor us. In the face of it all, our culture is our special sauce, the thing that augurs well for us. You see what I did there? It augurs well. Our culture is the thing that will see us through these challenges. Our culture will allow us to shine out there in a world that can seem these days unforgiving and even cruel. The culture of Thomas College is powerful, and this culture is the thing that will bring us new students, new faculty, new staff members, new partners, and new funding. I'm going to manifest that into being. I'm grateful, and I'm humbled, and I'm honored to stand at the head of an institution whose culture is so valuable and whose mission and values are so desperately needed at this moment in this country. Thank you for being here today with me and with the whole Thomas community as we reaffirm who we are and why we are here, and we foresee the great success of this college yet to come. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today to welcome President Jeannine Uzzi as our 6th president in the history of the college. We're going to march out, and after we do, we would love to have you join us down the hall for cupcakes and champagne. Thank you all again for coming.